Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. In this particular scene, we are zooming in on the Sept of the Green, in the vicinity of the rock, wherein the worm foe is known to reside. From one direction, returning from her nice day off Sept, Maeve McFeon is trotting along, looking happy enough, in the Umbra, of course, because it's after dark, which means you're not supposed to frickin' be there. So, we'll do this the easy way and enter in the way that the people from FFS can't fucking see, because that's the clever way to do it. So she'll be wandering in, having projected to her pack mates the direction she was headed from, about how close she was, and let them know that she was in fact about to engage one Garrett Cosma in conversation. And as such, she'll wander in and be sidestepping her way into the Tellurian within the veiled area around the Cub Cabins and the rock itself.
Maybe.
Of course, she'd enter in just in time to hear that. What?
Where's the wormful?
She gestures idly to the rock and looks that way expectantly, because where else would he be?
Wandered off and, somebody said something to me about him or being wet or some shit.
She
Don't know if he's back yet.
Wanders towards the rock, looking expectantly upon it.
Olaf, you know that tracking anybody born on a new moon is an act of futility.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's having to track somebody and there's just finding a guy at his office. How hard could it fucking be? He's a public figure.
You know he does do patrols sometimes.
But there's that, sure.
Offices are places. Office hours are times. Perhaps if you combine the right office with the right time, you'll have the right person.
We're Guru. I mean, come on. He is not Silverfang. I am not Silverfang. You're not Silverfang. And you, Maeve McFeon, are definitely not a fucking Silverfang.
Blink.
The whole office timey thing. We're glasswalkers. I'm fair. They're the only two that like the officey timey thing. Otherwise, it's kind of where you are.
Maeve, meanwhile, is investigating nearer to the rock, because this is a lot of fuss, but is he actually not there?
He's sitting down smoking.
She gestures to the plume of smoke and the glow of the cherry. Goes, really? You didn't look on the other side of the rock?
I was not searching for the man.
You're ridiculous. Hey, Garrett.
You will see the cherry move in an arc, as if the hand holding it is waving.
She'll head on that away, patting towards her little Percy doodad for the for her shiny new pieces of art. As she does so, got something to show you. Probably gonna be interested in it.
Oh, I'm dying to see it.
You are. You don't know it, but you are. And she'll pull out two pieces of paper that have been rolled together and carefully pull them open, being sure she doesn't crease them or anything, because gosh darn it, she's hanging these up afterwards. And plucking the first, will pass it over to the good worm foe for him to investigate.
And he will unfurl it and take a look. What does he see?
This one in particular is a view, obviously, from within some park or another, except that there's kind of an impression of the cultured trees and stuff, but it is completely overgrown with what looks suspiciously like the kind of vibrant color and life you'd see in the wild. And then beyond it is, of course, the city, but the city has been left kind of grayed out and covered in strands and spider webbing, essentially. It looks like an umbral view from within a park.
Eh. And he rolls it back up.
I didn't do this. You know that, right? And she'll hold out a hand for it.
Okay, what's the significance?
I met well, I've never seen her before. Definitely not kinfolk. Girl at, the park where I put my last garden. And she'll, hand him the other. And, she was working on that. So I came over to talk to her a little bit, and she offered to draw a picture of me. And she'll waggle the second roll at him.
He will unfurl it, and what does he see?
In this one in particular is, it's this nice open field where the figure of Maeve is obviously feeding some birds. The thing about it, though, is reflected directly opposite of Maeve and holding hands with her is Maeve's Krynos form, both of them bathed in moonlight with a snake shadowing the moon.
Garrett's eyes open a little bit wider. He will then roll up the piece of paper. He will reach into his pocket.
Don't
and
you
he
burn
will
that.
Pull out a lighter. He will
It
strike
won't
the
leave
flint.
Sept.
He will strike the flint on the
Oh,
lighter.
come on. I also got her to sign it. Don't burn it. Jesus Christ.
Unless you take some physical action, he will burn this thing.
She will attempt to snatch it back from him since she is standing right there. That
Uh,
has her name on it.
When she goes to snatch it, he will not put up a fight, and he'll let her take it. You want to do it then?
You want to what?
You want to destroy it then?
The point being, Garrett, you remember you asked me name Violet, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that is a thing she can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just fucking see things as they are.
She saw Matcha when I met with her.
Well, apparently she can also see our true forms.
Yep. Explains why she hesitated to shake my hand. But yeah, she saw that and drew it. And, well, I'm not mad because she didn't make any second sketches or flip to any other pages. I did get her name. I do know where she's going to college, and I have made a point of warning her that this kind of thing can't be spread around. She kept saying that we were unique people, and I told her that, well, us unique people need to stick together and watch out for each other, and this kind of thing can't happen. But she said that, and she kind of glances to Olaf and glances more pointedly to Garrett since you mentioned it. She's met at least 4 of us completely by accident, spotting us the same way she spotted me.
She can see things, yes. And I'm keeping tabs on her.
I figured you'd want to know. I've got her number too, if that helps. I mean, she's also got
I have her
mine.
number. I have her number.
I mean, I figure this is a thing Meiji folk have always been able to do. So there's no reason to freak out over this one happening to be able to do it too, but
Taps,
definitely figured it was something
taps
you
the
could
drawing.
do.
That's the issue. That's the issue right there.
That
That
is
will
a
be the
veil
issue.
breach.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Well, on the bright side, veil breachy item recovered. Now
Yeah.
that we know everyone's contact information and who it is and all of the other things. Mib,
What?
fire.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Garrett extends his lighter to Maeve.
This
Can
is
I wait until I make my next fire, Talon? I have to burn something of value to feed it.
That thing is worthless. That thing has less value. That thing is harmful. That is its value.
It is a veil breach, but it is still a well-made piece of art that was made personally for me, and it will still count for the fire spirit.
When do
It'll
you
still
plan on
eat it.
doing this?
I can
You
go do it
have
tonight.
1 hour. There you go.
There you go. No, I'll go do it tonight.
Garrett puts his lighter back in his pocket.
Yeah. Olaf doesn't seem to have a problem with this since it's happening like pretty much in the next hour.
Problem solved.
So yeah, I guess memo to anyone she offers to draw is to say no, because it will be distressingly accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But she seems to be very good about asking first, so I don't imagine it'll be much of a problem if people know to refuse.
She's a nice girl.
She did seem really nice.
It is still troubling, though.
Of course it is, but...
I mean, how many of them can do this thing?
For all we
Don't
know,
know.
all of them can, but as long as they haven't said anything this far.
She's the only one that's made any indication that she can. She can see the spiders in the city.
Can
She can
she
see our
also
totems.
curve bullets? Says a
I
very,
don't
very
know.
sleepy Lucas.
You have been on about the curving bullet since forever. Is it just the Angelina Jolie? Is it that? Is it you have a thing for this Angelina Jolie?
Does anybody
None of
not
us-
have a thing for Angelina Jolie?
I do not have a thing for Angelina Jolie.
I'm so glad I don't have to answer questions.
I would not worry too much about this little incident.
Okay. Figured you'd want to know that this sort of thing is a thing.
I know it's a thing. We just can't have her putting stuff to paper, leaving a permanent record. They have as much interest in remaining hidden as we do. So,
That's kind of what I figured.
I mean, if you really, 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 really wanted to go ahead and put the squeeze on them, all you had to do is show up where they're like learning or something like that, and just really taking one particular wall and sketching out witch in really, really big letters and like
Why would you
putting
do
up photographs.
that?
I'm just illustrating a point.
Yeah, but
The
the
things
first
that
person
they
who
can
makes
do
the
to
threat
us,
starts the
we can do
dominoes
to them.
falling.
You guys
Let's-
just make it all a bigger deal than you. She looked at her, points at the Maeve. She drew a picture, points at the soon-to-be destroyed picture. Issue solved as soon as that paper goes ahead and gets burned.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I was just passing along information. It's
Well,
the information is the thing now.
she did the right thing.
Yeah. Again, Lucas is very, very tired. Probably not even paying attention. Probably with his eyes closed. Though the sunglasses go ahead and hide that. Probably on the grassy knoll, laying down.
Alright, well, if this has been satisfied, I have to go figure out apparently what kind of cake becomes before like the first cake or the second cake. There's a lot of fucking cake involved in this shit, Garrett.
Cake. What do you need cake for?
Apparently you need cake for weddings. I don't like it. I think the grains should only be used as a meat conveyor, but no, we are having grains for grain's sake, in the form of many cakes.
My advice
I'm
is
so
to get
glad
out
I
of the
don't even
way.
have to ask questions.
My advice is what?
My advice is to just get out of the way, Olaf.
Yeah.
Normally I would, but they want me to pick this specific cake. She's been
Just-
yelling at me about this for a fucking week.
Then pick one. Did
Has
she
any-
have ones that she liked? Pick one of those ones.
Hold on a second.
Uh,
Olaf, has anybody properly congratulated you for settling down?
Considering that we
that-
bullied him into a marriage, no.
I wouldn't say I was bullied into it, but
You were kind of bullied into it. I was there.
my
Not
mama
by
was
us.
kinda-
The circumstances of the marriage are kind of moot. The fact that there will be a wedding is fantastic. Olaf, have you thought about how you're going to celebrate your last few days single, Garu?
I have no idea how Chinese weddings go. I'm mostly just trying to prepare.
Garrett
can
is
you-
pinching the bridge of his nose, eyes closed.
Weddings and pregnancies are things to be congratulated on, no matter what the circumstances.
That being so, the wormful looks not amused with this, and I have cakes to go figure out.
Go pick one of the ones that she liked if you don't care. Make it sound like you really like that one. Fake it convincingly.
Olaf stares at you like a man with no dots and subterfuge can stare when you tell him to fucking lie.
Just pretend it's bacon. Get that enthusiastic. Just think bacon in your head. Don't say bacon, though.
Fine. And off Olaf lumbers.
Is there any other pressing business?
Maeve's going to review the last couple things she did. At some point, I'm going to have to leave Sept because Travis's body has to be taken to be buried next to Leah's. And so Cinna and I are going on a field trip.
It's tribal business. I'm not interfering, but thank you for letting me know.
Yep. I think that's all I got, though. So I'm gonna go. Sidle, 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 sidle.
Don't forget to burn that drawing.
I'm not.
Pretty much leaving Lucas still on the ground, still in the grassy knoll, with the Garrett.
Potentially snoring.
Garrett, my main man, where do you see yourself in, not 5 years, but 5 weeks?
Don't fucking know.
Wise answer.
What do you want about?
Just think about your future, man.
Well, I appreciate you trying to be my guidance counselor, but I'm taking it one day at a time right now.
He goes ahead and sagely nods. Olaf getting married. You not knowing. Seems like a bright, fantastic future.
Garrett shrugs his shoulders and holds his hands out to either side. What is this? What are you talking about? What? Go to sleep.
Perhaps I am asleep. Perhaps somebody is using my voice without my consent.
Well, then they need to go use it somewhere else.
Why are you so distressed about this disembodied voice?
Because I don't give a shit of talking about a disembodied voice. If Lucas was here, Lucas might say something useful, but this idiot that has the disembodied voice is no use to me.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, you see the form of Lucas go ahead and shrug? Also, that was probably not Lucas. That was probably, again, a interesting being that has taken possession of not only his voice, but his body for a quick second. He is obviously not consciously aware of what is going on.
Good night, Lucas. Or whatever entity currently possesses Lucas. It has been a wonderful chat, but you need to go.
Where did you disappear to? Why were you soaking wet?
Oh, business.
Oh, I can infer that, but what kind of business?
The kind of business that a wormfoe does.
The kind of business that a wormfoe does that, necessitates him getting drenched. What, were you interviewing to some of the fishies in the reservoir?
Oh, the fishies know lots of things.
What kind of things do the fishies know?
And I know spirit speech now, so I can talk to fishies if I so please.
What kind of things do the fishies know?
They know things about the ocean.
And they know things about kelp, though, too.
It's deep. It's dark. There's things that we should not know. including you.
So you're saying in order to get that information, I must throw myself into the ocean to get the knowledge that you have.
Get to swimming, Lucas.
Point me in a direction.
Over in that cabin.
You're sending me to sleep, aren't you?
You can swim the astral sea, the dreamscape.
Can my dreamscape, can my astral sea be literally the astral maps I've got on my ceiling?
Don't fucking know. I'm not a theurge. Go to bed.
Well, that's the thing, Garrett. This is my bed. This is the ground. Gaia has given me this ground, and Gaia has given me this soft turf.
It
I
is
am in
most
bed.
definitely not your bed.
It's everybody's bed, Garrett.
Leave.
Ah, you are claiming this as your territory and wishing me to leave.
Pretty much.
I will respect this. And Lucas does not stand up. He instead just goes ahead and rolls. Rolls on the ground towards the direction of the cabin. Of Gaia. Tumble, 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 tumble. He continues tumbling until he's out of sight.
Garrett exhales the largest exhale he's ever exhaled, perhaps in the history of exhalation.
And with that, I'm going to assume I could say good night. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And we will see you next time on Living World of Darkness, Dramatic Exhale Across New York.